And welcome back to another edition of Talk Illini, brought to you by Orange and Blue News and the On3 Network. My name is Sonny Verma. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to discuss Illinois versus Alabama. Let's lock in Wednesday night in Chicago, the United Center, the bright lights, the national stage. We've got number 8 Illinois hosting number 11 Alabama in what might be the most anticipated non-conference game of the Illini season. Technically, it's a neutral site game, but let's be honest. Last year, the game was in Birmingham. Technically, a neutral site game. Not so much, though. This also should not be a neutral game. Should be orange and blue territory. Hopefully, Illini fans can turn the United Center into a second home court. And for the Crimson Tide team, walking into a building that's going to be 70% Illini fans, hopefully that's going to matter. This is not just a high-level showdown. It's going to be a resume-defining national statement opportunity for both programs. ESPN's BPI gives Illinois about a 57.5% chance to win, which is pretty substantial considering Alabama is a top 11 team and one of the most explosive offenses in all of college basketball. And yeah, as I mentioned before, this is a rematch. Last year, remember, Alabama beat Illinois 100-87 in Birmingham. And if you don't remember, I know Illinois does. I know Brad Underwood does. And I know everybody in that locker room certainly does. But this year, this Illinois team is a little different. This team is deeper, bigger, more physical, and mentally tougher. Let's go piece by piece. Illinois comes into this one undefeated, 4-0, and they already have a massive win over then number 11, Texas Tech. Illinois at times looked dominant in that game and looked every bit of a top 10 team. And the identity is emerging fast. Illinois is one of the, if not the best rebounding teams in the entire country. They're technically second nationally in rebounding margin with a plus 21.7 per game. That's not just good, that's season shaping good. That's you can win ugly games, you can win fast games, and you can win physical games good. And nobody symbolizes that more than the freshman who is already becoming a star. And of course, I'm talking about David Mirkovic. Let's talk about him for a second. David just won the Big Ten Freshman of the Year for the second straight week. Keep in mind, there's only been 2 weeks that this award could have been awarded. The big man from Montenegro has officially arrived and planted his flag as one of the best freshmen in the entire country. He is averaging 19 points and 12 and a half rebounds. He has 3 double-doubles already, and he just delivered one of the best individual performances in the history of Illinois basketball. 27 points, 21 rebounds. The first 2020 game by an Illini since 1972. And, oh, by the way, he broke Kofi Coburn's freshman rebounding record. Guys, this kid is not normal. He's special, and he's doing it with force. He's doing it with touch. He's doing it with confidence. And he's still learning the game. Wednesday night's matchup is huge for him. Alabama's front court is athletic, long, mobile, but it's thin. And it's not physical like what Mirkovic is going to go up against in the Big Ten. It's not built to deal with 250-pound freight trains who play like a rebound is a paycheck. If Mirkovic can instill his will on this game like he has in previous games, I feel really good about Illinois' chances. It's quite honestly that simple. The reason this Illinois team is different from yesteryear is it's not just relying on 1 or 2 guys. You have Kylan Biswell, who's averaging 18 and a half points and nearly 4 assists, the senior leader. He's earned Brad Underwood's trust late in games. He's shooting well, he's distributing well, and he's showing maturity in his decision-making. Then you have Keaton Wagler, huge storyline here. The freshman has stepped up, especially with Mihajlo Petrovic injured. He's averaging 17 and a half points per game, getting to the line at an elite level, 34 free throws already shot by Keaton, and playing with veteran-level poise. If Illinois needs a tough basket, Keaton can make it. He's simply not afraid. And then we have Andrej Stojakovic. We've already seen what he can do. He had that 23-point eruption against Texas Tech. It gave us a real look at what his ceiling might be. He struggled a little bit against Colgate, but this matchup against a fast, perimeter-oriented Alabama team, I think might fit him better. This is a game where his shot making could swing the momentum. And oh, by the way, his elite defense is going to absolutely be needed. So the big question is, can Illinois' veterans and secondary scorers match Alabama's firepower? Because quite honestly, folks, Alabama's guard play is elite. Nate Oates, like him or not, he's built a monster at Alabama. This is not just a football school that dabbles in basketball anymore. They've gone to the Final Four. They've been to the Elite Eight. They reload every single season. The Crimson Tide enter this game sitting at 2-1 with a marquee win over St. John's and a highly competitive loss to number 2 Purdue. Their identity under Oates hasn't changed. Nate Oates, more than any other head coach in the country, has embraced basketball analytics, and you see it in the Crimson Tide. Run, space the floor, shoot threes, and shoot threes, and shoot more threes. I'm not kidding. They're averaging 35.3 threes per game. That's fourth most in the country. And against Purdue, they took 43 three-pointers, and they did hit 16 of them. The formula is simple. When Alabama is hot, they can beat anybody in the country. When they're cold, they might be able to get run off the floor. Let's take a look at some of those guards. Start off with LeBaron Philon Jr. 19 points, 6 assists, shocking the country by withdrawing from the NBA draft late in the process to return this season. He's their engine. He's so smart, so smooth, and he rarely gets sped up. Then you talk about Aiden Holloway, who's averaging 21 points per game himself, one of the best guards in the country. He gives instant offense, and he's shooting over 40% from three in the early going. Then you also have Latrell Wrightsell Jr., a veteran sharpshooter. He just came back from an Achilles tear and is already hitting threes at a high clip. If Illinois doesn't defend the arc, this could very well be a very long night. But there's one matchup that really just jumps off the page, and every analyst has been circling it. Rebounding, rebounding, rebounding. Look at what Purdue did to Alabama. 42-23 rebounding edge. 17 offensive rebounds. It was a complete physical dismantling. Even Nate Oates said afterwards, until we figure out how to make tougher plays and rebound at a higher level, we're going to have a hard time beating elite teams. Well, Illinois is one of the best rebounding teams that in the country. Illinois is the best rebounding team Alabama is going to face. This is where the game can be won early. This is where the crowd can get loud. This is where David Mirkovic, the Visic brothers, depending on their health, Wagler, Boswell, Humrickhouse need to dominate the defensive glass and create second chance points. If Illinois wins the rebounding battle convincingly, the analytics say that Illinois becomes a heavy favorite to win at the United Center on Wednesday night. So some of the questions I have. Can Illinois keep Alabama under 32% from three? Last year, 32% was the magic number. Above it, Alabama won almost every single game. Below it, they became vulnerable. Can Illinois' wings and guards rebound? Because Alabama, well, they're going to crash from all angles. What about David Mirkovic? What kind of game does he have? Illinois can't afford disappearing acts from Stojakovic or some of the other role players. They're going to need the entire team to step up in this prime time matchup. And I'm also curious to see who controls the tempo. Alabama wants 80-plus possessions. Illinois is fine playing fast, but must avoid getting wrapped up in the chaos, the track meet style where Alabama thrives. This isn't just a normal November matchup. This is a quad one opportunity. This is a moment that Illinois can plant their flag nationally. The game against Texas Tech was impressive. The win over Alabama makes you a legitimate contender. This is a game that will follow both teams into March when seeds and resumes are debated. And the fact that it's happening in Chicago on a national broadcast with Illinois ranked number 8 and Alabama number 11, well, this is one of the biggest early season games in college basketball. Look, Illinois has the tools, the talent, the versatility, and hopefully the home court advantage to win this game. But Alabama has the elite guards, explosive shooting, and the ability to put 15, 20 points on you in a 4-minute span. This matchup is strength versus strength, physicality versus pace, discipline versus chaos. Brad Underwood versus Nate Oates. If Illinois controls the glass and defends the arc, I think they win this game. And by that, they make a national statement. If Alabama gets hot from three, buckle up. We might be in for a classic. I think it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be healthy for this game. Brad Underwood early on Tuesday discussed Thomas Lovovicic, Andrei Stojakovic, and Mihaela Petrovic, and Braden Lee. On Sunday was the first time that all the players, the entire team, has practiced together. I'm not saying recently, I mean ever. If you guys recall, Stojakovic was injured in the offseason, as was Mihaela Petrovic. These guys have not practiced together. And so Sunday, we finally got a glimpse. Brandon Lee's ankle still looks pretty bad, but again, all these guys are game time decisions. I do wonder myself, if I'm Brad, do I risk sending Tommy out there? For me, it probably depends on the health of the backup center. Zvonimir Ivicic, who is a game changer himself when he's healthy. If Zvonimir is healthy, then you have a luxury that not a lot of other college basketball teams have. You have a backup center who would be the starting center for a lot of basketball teams. And in that case, then let Tommy rest. We've got two, how do I say this respectfully, easier games coming up after Alabama. You got to let Tommy get rolling on against those teams. But if Z is also hurt, then you do have to debate whether you're going to need Zvonimir or not. I guess the only reason I have this question is because I think so highly of this basketball team. This team absolutely has a chance to do some real damage in March next year. And so my focal point is get the team healthy for the Big Ten Conference. Is it smart to roll out Mihaela Petrovic in his first game against a top 11 team who has a rushed pace? I can see the answer being no. You don't want this to be the first first play of Mihaela Petrovic's career. But at the same time, if there's one guard who can keep up with the Crimson Tide's guards, it's Petrovic. Maybe this is the time to unleash him. There's a lot of questions, and we're not really going to know until the availability report comes out before the game. But regardless, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. We're going to be talking about what happened. We'll have a full game recap immediately after the game. Please let me know your score predictions in the comments. Should be a great matchup regardless. Until next time, ILL.